What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at AMD today. We've been going down this primary trend line. We've got a sharp move off of it. We were respecting it pretty well. We got 3 touches and then a sharp move, and now we're on this steeper trend line that we've been respecting as of lately. It seems like it's a move down, and then we're going over like 2 or 3 candles, a move down, 2 or 3 candles, a move down, 2 or 3 candles, and so on. As you can see, it's kind of just been playing out like that. So maybe we get 2 sideways candles and we run into this trend line again. We have tested it multiple times, so I wonder if this time, now that it's getting weaker and weaker, maybe this is the opportunity for price to actually break out, or we could potentially continue on down. So if we continue the same pattern and we get 2 or 3 candles over and we hit this, we could potentially break down, retest, and move on to the next level, which is sitting at about 75 to 76, which we definitely don't want to see, but it's very possible. When AMD does break out, it's going to probably be a violent move, I would imagine. If it were to finally break out after the sideways action of chopping, we probably get a breakout above here, maybe retest the trend line, maybe not, and then we get a retest here and continue our way up. Overall, I do think this is there's probably a good chance that you're going to make a large amount of money off of this, percentage gain wise. It's down 61%, a major discount on a pretty solid stock, one of the best semiconductors in the space. So these are the next levels that are coming up. If you look here, and if we were to break this level here, the next level I could see happening would probably be somewhere around this region here on this green line. That would be the next region. And we might get a little chop somewhere in the middle of this, but if we were to fall underneath this, it would look something like this, retest, maybe chop somewhere in the middle here, and then make our way to this 63 to 60 region. Hopefully that's not the case. Things are extremely bearish for AMD, but it's not only AMD, it's the entire sector. So even the king of semiconductors and NVIDIA is still getting slaughtered as well. So when you're in doubt, you just zoom out, and this should make you feel a little bit better when you look at the large moves that have been made. From 2018, you ran up almost 1,800%. You did have a sharp move down of about 66%. After that, you had a nice run up of about 300%. And now we're currently down another 62%. So let's see if the next move is another 200 to 300% move. And we just continue this similar pattern that we have here. What if the next move is something just like that? So we'll see how it plays out. On the Fibonacci, we did see that we're currently at the 786, which goes to show that the trend is definitely being tested. It's getting close to that point where things are starting to look like they could completely just fall all the way through, but price is still holding up for now. But once we pass that 886, this whole move could be over, potentially a double top for a further leg down. And then we have to look at further price targets down. Hopefully that's not the case and we can continue moving up. And on the daily, we're underneath all 3 as well. The weekly, we're underneath all 3 indicators or moving averages. And on the daily, we're underneath all 3 as well. Extremely bearish. We've made it all the way to the green band, but we've actually closed outside of it. So let's see if we get a sharp move back off of it and try making our way to the red band. On the weekly, we kind of have the same thing at the moment. So let's see if we get a sharp move up, like a nice green engulfing candle. If not, we could potentially play off of this level since we've closed right at it or slightly below. So now this could be acting as resistance. Not too sure yet because it's stuck in limbo in between. Let me zoom in. It's kind of like it closed like slightly underneath it, but right on it. So we don't know if this is support yet or resistance, but we'll see how it plays out. It could act as resistance and we get a move up and shoot down. But if this is acting as support, then maybe we get a sharp move up and we close this gap here and this gap here. So we have multiple gaps that need to be closed still. We have plenty of gaps that have to be closed on the way back up. So I do still think there's hope for AMD. You just have to be patient and dollar cost average and bring your average cost down as much as possible. On the MACD, on the daily, we are bearish and we're increasing in volume, so it's showing a stronger move to the downside potentially. And on the weekly, we're just continuing the trend and we're actually starting to pick up more volume to the downside, which isn't a good sign either, because it was slowly dying out, the volume, kind of creating like this trend here, and now we just got this larger spike of red right here. So let's see if this is just one outlier this bad week, or if this is the new trend where there's going to be larger red candles throughout the next weeks. On the RSI, we're extremely oversold. We haven't seen these levels too often, so when we do hit these levels, we normally get a nice move, at least temporarily, to the upside. So we'll see what happens, because as you can see, we had a slight move up, a 20% move. So maybe we get something like that and continue the downtrend, or potentially we can make our way up. But it's always hard to imagine that when you're in the middle of an absolute bear market for semiconductors. So here we're also in that downtrend. We made our way up to the moving average and we failed to break above it, and we're pushing down even further, and we're completely oversold at a level of 29, and we haven't seen 29 for a while. On the weekly RSI, it's 2015. So this thing is extremely oversold. Could it keep falling? Yes. But could it be a great buying opportunity? Yes. It goes both ways. And when we take a look at the semiconductor ETF, we did close underneath this upward sloping trend line that we've been respecting multiple times. We've had 2 touches off of it. So we'll see. We did close underneath it. So the next move could potentially be something where we move up, retest, and now we're looking at horizontal levels, and then close underneath that. Then we're looking at more horizontal levels and further down. So if we break underneath this level, the next level would be a level of about somewhere in this region here would be the next level. We'd be at around 132 to 128 would be the following one after this one. So, but I think these are buying opportunities, and I think if you can take advantage of it, you'll thank yourself later on when you're in the green. These are the hardest times to buy, when things feel like they're just never going to go up and they just continue to bleed, but that's when you have to buy. Unfortunately, it's just a psychological game, really. You have to be fearful when others are greedy, which is this point right here. AMD was at almost 230. This is when you're supposed to be fearful, because everybody's greedy. And now this is a time to be greedy while everybody else is fearful. Everyone's fearful right now because AMD is down 62%. This is a time to lock in and buy as many shares as you can if you like the company AMD. If you like them over here, 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 then you should love them right now. So it doesn't change the fundamentals, what's going on in the market. Just remember that. So this could be a great opportunity, not financial advice. I'll see you in the next one.